Hi, the audience is here. We're really excited to have a very important partner of Cavago's to talk to us about an endeavor, a mission that raises awareness for Pink Caravan, which is breast cancer awareness around the world. And it's an initiative that was started in the UAE. With enormous success, and they mobilized the horse community to contribute towards breast cancer awareness. With that, I have a very special guest, Majid Suwaidi, joins us in the UAE, and he does a lot of work towards this charity. He's extremely passionate. So, Majid, great to have you on this session.
It's my pleasure, and I think we have even Heya Merai here. I think, can you hear us?
Is it working? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We're so glad that you're here. Majid has just breathed a sigh of relief, and so we're excited to have you here.
It was a sigh of relief, yes, definitely.
Fantastic. So now we're all here, I think, and I think the audience is really looking forward to hearing this session. And it's something that's very close to my heart. As you can see just behind me, I do have the plaque that you gave us when we were last riding around the Burj Khalifa to raise awareness for breast cancer. So I think for everyone here, maybe Heya, you can tell us a little bit more since you're one of the leaders of this project. What is Pink Caravan?
First of all, I would like to thank Cavago for having us be part of this amazing forum that you guys have organized. It was a lovely partnership that started this year, actually, on the 10th anniversary of Pink Caravan, and hopefully it will continue moving forward for the next years, inshallah. First of all, I will talk a bit about the charity, and then maybe I'll introduce Majid so he can continue. So Pink Caravan is an awareness initiative that falls under a program called Kashf, which means early detection. The program it's been 10 years. As I said, Pink Caravan has turned 10 this year, and it's under the charity, which is called Friends of Cancer Patients. Friends of Cancer Patients is 21 years running, actually, in the country. It was founded by the royal patronage of the rulers of Sharjah, Sheikh Jawahar al-Qasimi and her husband, as well. They founded the charity 21 years ago. Basically, when it was founded, there was a need, even back then, 21 years ago, that they've noticed that there will be a need, and there was a need as well, on the importance of raising awareness on cancer. As we know, cancer therapy and cancer treatment is not cheap, and as the years progress, it becomes more expensive as more medications are being developed, it's more targeted, and so on. So there was a need back then, and there's still a need right now on raising awareness and making sure that cancer is detected at an earlier stage. So that's how Friends of Cancer Patients was founded. On the 10th year anniversary of Friends of Cancer Patients, the initiative Kashf came on, and we kicked it off with Pink Caravan almost around 10 years ago. Back then, when it first started, it was, how can we get the public to be comfortable around talking about breast cancer freely? So we had actually a volunteer back then come up with a campaign, why not use horses as an element to attract the public attention and, you know, create a conversation about it and start raising awareness. And that's how kind of the idea of Pink Caravan Ride started. So even back then, I've only been with the charity for 5 years, but I hear a lot of stories on how it started and how we weren't allowed to say breast cancer in public. So they used to ask our director general, who has a background in medicine, to say chest in radio and like TV interviews. And she used to refuse because chest cancer is completely different from breast cancer, you know. And back then she kind of wanted to, you know, to break that taboo of why are we not allowed about talking about breast cancer when it's really important, and it's actually #1 cause affecting women in the UAE until now, actually, as well. So that's how Pink Caravan Ride started. It had a lot of attention from the media, from the people, from the royal family as well, and they've been supporting us for the past 10 years. And that's actually how Majid was introduced to the charity. He started off as a rider and then became as a volunteer, and then now he's heading our equine committee, which handles the equine elements such as the riders, such as making sure the horses are safe, screening, like, the routes and all of that. And that's how this basically he was now a full part-time of the Pink Caravan Ride, and he stuck with us forever, inshallah, as well.
Inshallah.
And yeah, so maybe he can also talk about now how he first started and how Pink Caravan what it means to you as well.
Well, basically, what happened is that 10 years ago, as I was introduced to the Pink Caravan by Reem bin Karam, may she rest in peace, the sister of Reem bin Karam, who is our head of committee currently. She told me, Majid, this is going to be a great initiative. We would like you to come on. Why don't you become one of our Pink Caravan riders of hope? So I came on very young, enthusiastic, wanted to join, wanted to be part of something that was good for the community, good for the public. Obviously, this awareness initiative is very important, and it's a way of saying this is what we're giving back to the community, really, because of wanting to, care really about the community, to show how you really care and how you want to give back. That's basically what I did. Eventually, after a couple of years of me getting some, I would say, experience in the Pink Caravan and how it works from A to Z, I became a volunteer, wanting to, be part of the team more in depth, actually. And eventually, the team felt like, okay, so Majid's ready. He can be part of the committee now. He can run the equine team. And this is where we are today as a team, as a whole, pushing forward this initiative. Yeah.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. Those who are following us right now, to raise awareness for Pink Caravan, riders, so the equestrian community of the UAE, those who are very, very experienced, all the way through to beginners, they get on the back of a horse. They usually wear a pink sort of a vest, right? Sometimes a pink helmet, and we ride around. I beg your pardon?
Reflectors
as well, correct. And they ride at some of the most iconic spots in the UAE. And I remember it must have been 8 or 9 years ago, riding at the Corniche in Abu Dhabi, right, near Emirates Palace, which was an incredible experience, and to show my support for the charity. And then this year, I was adamant that Cavago would support the charity, and I myself personally flew to Dubai specifically for the Pink Caravan. And Heya and Majid both were so nice to allow me to get on a horse and ride around the Burj Khalifa. That is the world's tallest building and the world's largest mall, the Dubai Mall. So it was an iconic experience. But I think what was incredible was, as we were riding around, nearly every single person pulled out one of their mobile phones and was either taking a picture of us or a video of us, and really telling the world about what is this, what's going on. And I'd love to know more, because I've seen Pink Caravan evolve and develop and enhance so dramatically over the last 10 years. As Cavago, we're extremely proud to be a part of it. But over the last 10 years, tell me, how many people have you impacted? What kind of money have you raised? Who are your partners? Give me some of those details.
Okay, I'll touch a bit maybe about the medical part, and then Majid could talk about a little bit about the riders and the people maybe we've met. So in terms of medical, we've offered around more than 70,000 clinical examination for men and women. So each year we've tried to push while maintaining quality, of course, of our screening and making sure that it is effective, and we're trying to catch the cases early on. So each year, I think it started on our 7th year. So in our 7th year, we thought, oh my God, it's 7. 7 is such a beautiful number. Let's try and get 7,000 screenings. Before that, we used to only get 5,000. That used to be our target. So in their 7th year, we're like, okay, awesome. 7 years, 7 Emirates, let's get 7,000. And that was our target. And actually, I think we screened more than
It was
7,000
more
that
than
year.
7,000, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more than 7,000.
Wow.
And our 8, and then, we liked it. We liked the challenge. We liked that, hey, you know what? We can do it. We can offer our services. We can catch, cases. We can educate more people. And that's how, the medical team kind of had their KPIs for each year pushed. We have our team each year, like as we progress, and they go like, oh no, we know what number is coming this year. So for the 10th year, we actually had 10,000 screenings, and I think they actually even reached more than 10,000. That's how we've created that credibility, we've created that, awareness. Around end of Jan, early Feb, already the office, we start getting calls, oh, when is Pink Caravan ride coming? Even before we announce it, already people know that by end of Feb, by early March, we're going to be there and we're going to be offering services. And that's the most important thing, is creating that credibility to the community, that ease of access, because we do go to those areas that, might be difficult, or might, they might not have the money, or they might not have the ability to go get checked. And that's kind of what we really wanted from the beginning. We always went to Khorfakan, Al Daid. We went to areas in Ras Al Khaimah, and all the different Emirates. We try to go where the community is to try and make it easier, because we want to be that reminder for them. Like, hey, we're asking for 15 minutes of your time. You don't have to drive so far away. We're going to be close in your community. Come get checked. It won't take time. It's really important to get checked. And I think also what is very important is we targeted the men. So in some rural areas, because of the kind of the taboo around breast cancer and talking about breast publicly, when we targeted the men were curious on what is happening here. What are these free services? We'd do the examination, we'd show them the process, we'd educate them. And then once that's done, they go back home, they bring their sisters, their wife, any family member that fits the age group on what they've been educated, and they come. And that's how kind of the community grew. And that was really nice to see. And like, they'd be so proud, like they would come and they would get checked. And there are so many across the years that we've had people every couple of years show up, and like, they know who we are. And I think that was a beautiful combination between bridging the horse aspect and the equine element to medical element, because that kind of created the attraction in terms of the medical side. And it helped really push the message, because one thing is talking medically all the time, but creating the aspect of a community being out there, and I think it really did its job. Majid, maybe you can talk about how a lot of the riders now are like volunteering and so on, and how many we've had them across the years.
Just to tap into what you were just saying, specifically about like how we got the equine aspect of this with the breast cancer awareness, is that like for the Arabs, this is their Arabic heritage. It's in their blood. They love horses. And even like hundreds of years ago, when horses here in the Arab world were considered, like war horses, and then they would be taking up large distances. And that's what they were good at. And today you can see these horses doing so many equestrian disciplines, including show jumping, etc. So today we looked into what was, the public, what are they into? What is our royal highnesses and like specific VIPs, etc. What are they into? And everyone loves horses. So 10 years ago, we had volunteers. Today, we had 300 people that wanted to volunteer for the 10-day ride, and over 150 people joined the Pink Caravan 2020 ride, and that was a feat that we've never done before. And that includes those that are in the social media, our ambassadors, royals, and generally the public that were also those that were in show jumping and other disciplines as well that wanted to join the ride as volunteers. For that to happen, it's an incredible feat, especially in the equestrian world, to get these people together for one thing, which is breast cancer awareness. And that's why we're quite happy this year in the 10th year for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. I think it's extraordinary, and for the audience again, I find that that the team has been so energetic, so proactive in welcoming all the riders, all the supporters. I mean, you're not just only riding a horse; there's people walking alongside you, and I think now the UAE community has come to expect this event as an annual event, and it continues to support more and more patients. It continues to support more and more screenings, as Heya mentioned. What I'm interested to learn about is, with this incredible history and the support of Her Highness, what are your future plans? What do you intend to achieve next?
I think one of the most important messages that we do carry on in general in Pink Caravan is that, yes, we are there every March and Feb. Yes, we activate October, which is known as Pink October or the Breast Cancer Month. But the message is that breast cancer is not only tied to those 2 months, that it's all year round. So we would really encourage men and women to be more aware of the signs and symptoms, to always make sure that they get their screenings on time, that if there's any questions or there are any concerns, that they can get in touch with us, because, you know, our role is to keep educating, making sure that everyone stays healthy. And honestly, I think as we are progressing throughout the years, we're trying to focus more on the wellness aspect. So the wellness aspect is making sure you have a healthy diet, making sure you have a healthy life, making sure your mental health is very important, you know, so all that all around. And that's a lot in our key messages. Even like during October and November, what we are doing is we're hosting webinars, we're educating people about the importance of mental health, nutrition, and so on. And I think that's what Pink Caravan and FOCP generally is moving towards too, is the total wellness. So it's all the focuses, you know, as wellness defined by WHO. And I think that's the most important aspect. And I think in terms of Pink Caravan Ride, is probably growing it a bit bigger. I mean, COVID was an interesting time to see if we're able to host events or not. And hopefully that by March and Feb things are better and that we can actually do the ride. Definitely this year it will be more controlled in terms of the numbers, in terms of, you know, making sure that there will be distancing and so on. And that's something that potentially we're going to be looking forward to. And I think maybe potential partnerships as we're hoping to happen in Feb and March, which will be a nice surprise for our Pink Caravan Ride followers.
I think that's incredibly exciting. And what I wanted to say is that from Cavago's standpoint, we're fully committed to Pink Caravan. And I was internally, we've talked as a team, and what we're really excited to share with you is that we will be reaching out to many of our hosts, not only in the UAE, but around the world, to develop a specific product for breast cancer awareness. And we'll call it the Pink Ride, whether it's a basic riding lesson, whether it's a holiday, etc. And what we will do is we'll encourage people to choose to spend either $1 more or $10 more, directed purely towards breast cancer awareness and Pink Caravan. So we want to be your partners in making this global, realizing this dream. And I'm saying it publicly in this forum because I'm absolutely committed to it. Right?
The virtual signature right now. It's a commitment.
The virtual signature, you got it. This is being recorded.
It's being recorded.
It's because it's being recorded. You know, and I've got the plaque behind me. It's because it is absolutely essential to support a great cause, and it's incredible that the horse community has come together. And I feel proud representing that horse community. And I think the horse community is not just in the UAE, which is a very rich and proud place that loves their horses, from the royals to anyone who's just growing up in the UAE, who's maybe seen a horse and begun to say, I really want to be a part of this world. It's really accessible. And I think with Cavago, the app, we're making it more and more accessible. But the whole world loves horses. Here's a fact for you. According to Facebook, there are 250 million people who have marked horses as an interest. Now that's extraordinary, right? There are more people that ride horses than play golf or tennis. We, as a horse-loving community, are definitely onto something. And I think a message as noble as this, as proud as this, must be shared.
Very true. Very true.
Honestly, thank you so much. I mean, this is why partnerships are very important, because it helps grow each other as a sustainability method for us. Because as we grow and as we do more screenings and as we catch cases, we will need the funding to support the patients. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it is about. It's catching cancer at an earlier stage, helping the patients go through their treatment, and hopefully that it's not the extreme, late diagnosis at the end of the day. And having partners support us throughout the year through whatever different way that they think they can support us, which is in this case connecting the horse community to a cause such as this, I think that's great. And that's how it helps us create sustainability, creates, more awareness, not only here but international. And I think that's very important, because yes, we are based in UAE, however we really do like spreading our messages all over the world. And if this is a platform that we're really happy to work towards that.
Yes, absolutely. And so I think I'm really, really excited. I still remember when I had my ride, not only was I excited to just be on the back of a horse in such an iconic location, but I think what I was being a part of as a global community meant so much to me. I specifically, like we discussed, I specifically came out to the UAE to participate, to demonstrate that we are fully in support. Because immediately after the ride, I had to get on a plane and fly back to Singapore. Otherwise, I would have been locked in Dubai and away from my family during the COVID lockdown. So we've learned a lot as a result, and we've had a lot of time to think and introspect to see how we can support the Pink Caravan movement. And a caravan is a movement, and it should be a movement that's global. We're in a global environment.
That's true.
We've had people from about 20 countries speak on this platform, let alone the participants, which are way more than just 20 countries. But I'm just speaking about the speakers on the platform just tonight. So with that, I wish you all the very best. Cavago is in full support of you. I think it's a fantastic partnership, a relationship. And you do realize that some of the greatest achievements in the world have been on the back of a horse.
That's true. A lot of
Pink
wars
were
won as well on back of horses. So this
wars,
is our war.
knowledge transfer, etc. Exactly. So with that, I wish you the best of luck.
And the Social 2020 as well. Hopefully more to come.
Definitely more to come. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this call and telling the world about Pink Caravan, and we'll continue to share these stories.
Thank you for being and being our partner actually in this, and hopefully to many more years. And let's see how 2021 will be our interesting challenge for us.
Indeed, for all of us. All the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.